Good evening,
Whoa.
good morning, and good afternoon.
Hey.
Welcome to the Chicken Steak Podcast.
No way.
I'm your host, Bruno, and with me, as usual, is my co-host, Alexis.
Oh my god, who is that guy?
Oh, this is the third time we're recording this episode.
Oh, yes!
Okay, I'm starting off things this week. I'm going to have to... I'm going to explain it quickly. Basically, week started off fun. On Monday, I have to go to my work experience that I'm doing for school, get on the bus, I get a phone call from my boss. I answer, I'm like, what's up? He's like, where are you? I tell him, I'm going to work, I'm on the bus. He's like, yeah, you can get off the bus now. I'm like, what? Apparently, the week before on Monday, in the office, another intern that I apparently had contact with had contracted COVID. So, pretty much I got placed into social distancing for a week. So I've been working from home. Luckily, I don't have any symptoms or anything. I'm healthy as heck. But, to be safe and all protocols and that stuff, I have to stay home and work from home.
Damn, I haven't heard this story before.
But the annoying part is for 2 weeks, I've been doing a really annoying task for work. Since the company I work for is a Microsoft partner, we use primarily just Microsoft software.
Yes.
And for emails, we use Microsoft Outlook, which is an awful piece of software. I wish email software just didn't need to be used at all, but Outlook specifically is very annoying. And so you know how when a company or anything sends you an email, they can have like a pre-made signature where it's like their name, their company name, their profession, their phone number, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So basically, they're like at work, like most places use like a pre-made template.
Yes.
And on Outlook, we were using one where we have an image of the person, so it's like a more professional looking signature for everyone.
Yes.
The issue arose when we realized that on the mobile app for Outlook, usually when you put an image into an email, it embeds it into the background of the email.
Oh, yeah.
The phone version doesn't do that. It adds the image as an attachment. So, to fix that, I've had to remember what I learned 3 years ago on using HTML, and I've had to write a script to make the whole signature, just basically in HTML. That was just the fun beginning.
Oh, the fun part.
Yeah. Then I found out that Outlook does not support CSS, which is pretty much the assisting language for HTML that lets you design everything.
Yeah.
Like margins, how it looks, all that stuff. Well, you can theoretically do it with HTML, but it limits you. CSS gives you a lot of tools. So I couldn't use CSS. I was like, okay, I write up something, and I need to make it that the image is on the left side and the text is on the right side.
Mm-hmm.
I try to make it in HTML. I open the browser, looks fine. Put it into Outlook. It's fucked. The text is under the image. Shit. For 3 days, I was trying to figure out how to get the positioning correct. I figured out that I had to make basically a table. So on one table row I have the image, and another I have all the info and text and all that stuff, and then it works great. I make that, put it into Word to format it a bit more, put it into Outlook. Great. In a couple 3 or 4 days I get it working. Next, we notice that the images we're using for some reason don't keep the transparency. And I look it up and I'm like, oh, the dark, because basically they implemented dark mode recently, and on PC the emails itself background is white, but for the mobile phone it's fully dark. On phones, all the pictures would have white backdrops. I'm like, shit. I couldn't figure out why Outlook would break it, but I found that it is a bug, and I was like, I just can't fix it. Then they give it to one of the actual people working there, my coworker, and he checks it out. He writes literally one line of HTML code for a file. It's an empty file, one line of code. I'm like, I've already tried this. Fine, I'll check it out. Shit works. The transparency just fucking works. I'm like, what? So I start looking at it, so I'm like, maybe it's because he hosted it on this company cloud, whilst I was using like a public one because I didn't have access to the cloud. I'm like, maybe it's some bug. I opened the website where it's hosting it. I realize it's not Outlook that removes the transparency. It's the fucking website where I uploaded the images.
Oh my god. Like, why you have to put so much effort into this, man?
Hey man, because it's a task they actually need. It's not like an intern like go fucking do this. We don't care. It's like something the company actually needs. And there's more.
Oh, okay.
Then after that, the formatting broke again, so we had to fix that again. I don't know how we did it because my coworker did most of it. He somehow magically fixed it with the magic of HTML. Then on Friday, I'm like, yes, we're done. It's cool. We sent everything out. Everyone has the signatures. Nice. 20 minutes after the workday is over, I get an email from one of the other interns who were like doing marketing design for this. Like they gave me this task because they couldn't do it because they don't know HTML. Turns out that we have the phone number in the signature, and it's like as a hyperlink. So when you click it, it's like, oh, you can open it with Skype or whatever.
Yeah.
Turns out for some reason, even though in the code it's the full number, when you click it, it removes the first 2 digits of the number. I have no fucking idea how to fix that, and I have to deal with that on Monday. Fuck. Oh, so it's been
rough job, man.
It's been a fun week.
But
and it's also the fact that I hate working from home, because when you're working at the office, you're like, okay, I'm at the office, I'm working. I get home, I'm free. There's no more work. When you're working at home, it's like that constant anxiety of like needing to work because you feel like you're at work. There's no like that security of being at home anymore. Which I hate. But luckily, I on Tuesday get to go back to the office.
that sounds like.
But I think that's gonna be enough of my work this week.
You just sound like a depressed middle-aged man.
Yeah,
life runs me down. Every day work is hard. They don't pay me enough for this.
Yeah. Well, they don't pay me at all.
I mean, yeah, you're an intern. You're basically an intern.
How about you take a little bit? Tell us. You've gotten into League. I noticed.
Yeah, I have gotten into League of Legends, but it's.
So tell us a bit about that. How's been your experience into being new to League of Legends?
I mean, I just got into League of Legends because all my friends were playing and didn't want to feel left out. And I found it. I was okay with that because I'm better. Not to toot my own horn, but I'm better at games than most people. So I figured I'd just improve the game better or quicker than most. And like League itself, like I actually don't find it that bad. I will say I've played a lot more fun games in my lifetime, but I play it to like have something to talk about with the boys, you know.
Fair enough.
And like, I like literally everything else about League aside from the gameplay. I like that as well. Like, well, not well. I like that more than the gameplay. I'd say. I really like the lore. The stories are cool. Their productions and promotions really cool as well. I think everyone knows what KDA is at this point.
Yeah, the K-pop band.
Yeah.
Inside of League.
Like you don't even have to know about League of Legends. It's like you've probably heard the phrase KDA before. And then I think if you're a gamer, like whether you've been ever into League or not, you've probably heard the name Faker as well. Like it's a really big thing. Which I like that a lot. But I think I really like the lore of League. Learning about
of the game itself.
Yeah, the game itself and the characters. That's cool. Gameplay, and it's just like it's really in depth. I think it requires so much knowledge to like really get good at.
That is true. I mean, I've been playing it for 7 years and I still suck ass at it.
Yeah, and like knowledge and being used, like needing to have knowledge to enjoy a game. I don't mind too much. Like I have that like Darkest Dungeon. Like, that's a big part of Darkest Dungeon. But I just think with League, it just feels really like overwhelming because it's such a big game. And also the fact that because it's a multiplayer game, it will change every season. So yeah, if you're new to it like me, I don't find it that bad, but it can be really intimidating to try and learn it just as a completely new person to the MOBA scene.
My favorite part was when I was talking to you about it, and you were like, "Yeah, man, I don't think League's my game." It's like,
I still don't.
I'm not gonna play it anymore. The next
moment,
day,
yeah,
I go on Discord, and I see you streaming playing Alawi, and I'm like, this fucker.
Yeah. That night I got sad, but then like I just have this thing where like the more I suck at a game, I just have like the stronger urge to just like improve, not to necessarily enjoy the game, but to be like, yeah, I'm good at games. Yeah.
You just want to prove yourself.
No, I just want to prove myself. You know, I'm not bad at games, right? I'm not gonna quit League, and I still like semi agree with what I said there. Like I don't enjoy it that much, but yeah, it's something to do. It's something to do.
For me with League is the fact that I don't enjoy the game itself anymore. The only times I can play it is when I'm like, I want to play this specific champion. Because I've noticed I used to enjoy the game like as a whole, because of course it was new to me, but also it was different balancing wise and like just the playstyle wise. But now it's become just the fact that I only enjoy League if I'm crushing my enemy.
Oh yeah.
Like if I'm doing really well. If I'm not doing well, I'm not enjoying the game.
Yeah.
So I don't enjoy it too much. And it's also the fact that I've just been drifting away from PvP games recently.
That's
I've been
fair.
focusing a lot on like single player games for the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, I've also been doing that. One of the single player games I wanted to play, Skull, the Hero Slayer. It's leaving early access, but they had to delay the date to January 21st. It was supposed to come out on Christmas. I'm like, no. But honestly,
Right.
I don't mind at all. Like, I don't mind waiting. Just make the game good, you know.
Do you guys get Christmas break?
We're all starting the 18th for 2 weeks, I think.
Same, actually. Literally the same.
Yeah, I think everyone, like almost everyone, has the same starting on the winter break. My Japanese friend has the same timing as well.
Wow.
Oh wow! I love Japan. Whoa! I'm not a weeb, but Japan's the greatest place ever, bro. But yeah. I mean, in terms of games, I think League, it's there for me to play. I think I will agree with your point. Like, it is only really fun when you're beating someone else. I think that's a really weird. I think that's the quality of a really high competitive game. Very anti-casual, which like, for me personally, I don't want that in a game. But like, if you're just that hyper competitive, I think League's for you, because as you said, Bruno, it's like you only feel really good when you start beating the enemy. But what I want in a game is I just want the game to be fun, regardless of whether you're winning or you're losing. That's the thing that makes me care about the game the most. Not the feeling of winning and losing, but just how fun it is just to play the game in its entirety and winning and losing, and all that stuff, you know.
For me, it's just that now I think about it, it's just for PvP games in general. I only find PvP games fun if I'm winning, because I don't see another reason to play them.
That's fair.
Because when compared, if I could never say there was no physical way for me to win PvP games, then they're just statistically worse than single player games because they just give you less to experience.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah. They're just some things that you can only experience well in a PvP game when you're winning.
Yeah.
That's why single player games are cool. And talking about single player games.
But on the topic of single player games, we had a launch this week of a little like very indie unknown game, like no hype for it, called Cyberpunk.
No.
27/7.
Electric Rock. 25.
Oh God, Cyberpunk.
I've heard the reviews, and the game, from what I've heard, is not perfect, but it's a damn good game. That's what I've heard.
Well, as a person that has first-hand experience of the PS4 version, which is the most broken version,
I've heard the console versions are interesting.
You know what's funny?
You. I got you.
Damn, you did. The game is a mess.
I've heard that as well. It's very buggy.
It is so fucking buggy and unstable, but it's fucking amazing. It's just, it's such a weird experience to play a game where it doesn't feel completed, but the parts that you can like see, like the intention and the game design, it's so well made. So I'm like, I can't physically say that it's a bad game because it's not. It's just not, ironed out yet. It's not like patched.
It's not in its best state.
Like even today, they released a 14 gig patch for it. I haven't gotten to check out what they fixed, but this is a huge and massive game. Like people should have expected there would be a buggy mess on launch.
Well, that's the thing though, right? People just they don't expect that because of all the delays.
True, but think about it. Maybe they delayed it because imagine how buggy it was if they had to delay it that much.
Well, I think this relates back to what I was talking about before about delays and stuff. But like, when people want a game, they want a finished product. You know what I mean? And I think, as of right now, like people are just they don't mind too much if it's really buggy. But I think people still want a finished product. They don't want to wait for a lot of post-release patches for the game to be like in a great state. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that because Cyberpunk's so buggy it's really bad. I don't have the right to because I haven't played it myself. But like, I think because like in this day and age of gaming, because you can fix a game post-release, it just invites a lot more laziness from devs. Like, I'm not putting it 27 because those devs are not lazy. They're not lazy in any sense. But for a lot of games, it's just, especially AAA games, the companies just release them in a really bad state with the intent that they'll actually make the game post-launch, and that really kills a lot of games like Anthem. Oof.
But I think that's a two-sided coin because yes, it allows devs to be lazy, but it also allows devs to be ambitious.
True.
Because with the acceptance of launches being buggy, they can go like with a bigger scope without worrying to fix it all in time because they can have the launch which kind of works and then they can patch it out and then they can make the game they want to make.
Well, then people have like the same one, like if they could make the game better post-launch, then why not just spend a lot more time just to make the post-launch just the best it could be, straight up?
Well, I think the devs themselves would have preferred to have more time.
True, yeah. I can't blame the devs. Like the hype really got like rode to hell.
It's just the publishing itself. Like, if it was up to devs, like look at indie devs, they take forever to release anything, but that's because they have all the time in the world.
Yeah.
Whereas when you have a publisher, you have this big money marketing figure breathing down your neck and expecting you to like get product out by due date.
Yeah.
And of course it's normal. It's not like that's an unreasonable thing. But with game creation, especially in the early stages, when you're set the deadline, you don't know how buggy or how fucked up your systems that you make might be.
Yeah. And
how much time it will take to find out what's the issue and how to fix those bugs. So that's why I'd say it's it's dumb to say it's no one's fault. It's more the fact that the devs and the publishers need to understand each other's situation.
Yeah.
But back on topic with Cyberpunk.
Mm-hmm.
It's extremely buggy, but it's not unplayable.
Yeah.
It's those bugs. The performance has been fine. FPS drops here and there. I expect it. It's a PS4 and it's not an ironed out version of the game. That's fine.
Yep.
I've had a handful of like game crashes. For example, in the game, I'm not gonna spoil it, but there's a very emotional, sad moment in the game, and right after it, the game crashed. So I just got like, I was like, oh man, this is so sad. Game crashed. I'm like, fuck's sake.
Oh no.
But then also after going through the sad moment again and being sad, I'm like, oh man. I get out of a car and I'm like, ooh, items. Start looting. Completely forget about the sadness.
Damn, bro.
Though I should also point out the game's strongest point is the story. Because the combat is... I don't mean this as it's bad, but it's nothing to write home about.
It's there.
The combat feels like it's something between Fallout 4 and The Division.
Oh, that's interesting.
Like that's the general feel of it. Like I like it, but I also wouldn't call it super amazing or polished. I enjoy it though. And also with the RPG systems in the game, it gives you a good amount of freedom to how you can approach a battle with all the cybernetics hacking or just with simple gun skills or melee skills and stealth skills. There's a lot of freedom of choice, I'd say.
Yeah.
Oh, some of the bugs that I've seen are very funny.
Like what?
The first bug I noticed is that, and this still, I haven't checked it, but I think it's still not fixed. You know how in an RPG, when you look at an item, it says the stat, and then it shows a green arrow if it's better and a red arrow if it's worse.
Oh, yeah.
Their system is somehow upside down, because when an item is on the ground and it has a red arrow, when you pick it up in the inventory, it's going to be a green arrow, because basically, if you see on the ground and it says it's a worse item, it's a better item, and if it says it's a better item, it's a worse item.
Ooh.
So that's a very prominent bug, which is kind of annoying. You have to open the inventory and see the stats there and then all that stuff. In the inventory, it works fine. Like the arrows and everything is just when it's on the ground, like outside of the inventory, that's where it's broken.
Okay, yeah, that's not as bad then. It's okay.
And I don't know if this is a bug or it could just be game design. And multiple times, one notorious time was going for like a random side quest. And I'm in this like circle area in the city, like a circle road, and there's like a little market in the middle. I'm walking around, I look at an NPC, then I look right, I see another identical NPC, and then I'm just like, I'm talking to some friends on Discord, I'm like, yo, I got 2, no 3, no 4. I'm just laughing my ass off, 4 identical NPCs. Then my friend keeps saying 5, and I'm like, yeah, there's 5. And we get to the point where there's 11 identical looking NPCs in like the distance of 10 meters of each other. Yes! And it was the funniest shit ever.
They all twins.
Yeah. There's also some clipping issues. For example, there's one moment where a certain character is passing away and they're handing you kind of an important item.
Yeah.
For some reason, they still have their guns in their hands. So they first off touch their head. The gun is clipping through their head. And then they hand you the item and they're just holding their gun. And they put the thing.
Here you go. Here's my Glock.
It's a buggy game. Really is, but it's also really fun and enjoyable. So I would recommend it to buy it if you don't mind bugs, but if you do, just wait for them to iron it out. It's CD Projekt Red. Like, even if they have shit launch, you can rely on them to fix their shit.
Yeah.
They're not devs that just, like, make some bullshit, make money, and then run away. Yeah. They care about quality. They care about what the customer experiences in their products. It's a reliable dev. So I'd say it's like, if you don't like the buggy mess that is right now, just wait. Give it a couple months and it's gonna be fine.
Fair enough. Well, I have a great topic that we can talk about for the rest of this.
Yeah.
And let me turn this on. Not that. Here it is.
What is this? Let's
You see my screen?
Oh no, not
Here it
this.
is. Here it is. We're going to be talking about the 2020 Game Award.
Oh God.
Oh. And
Me and you, like, off podcast already talked about the nominations and how pretty much every nominee had Last of Us 2 in it.
Yep. Well,
what we're about to see is, whew.
Okay, so let's get the most controversial one out the way. We got Game Awards, Game of the Year, The Last of Us Part 2. Last of Us Part 2 beating the FF7 remake and Ghost of Tsushima is so funny. That is so funny. Oh my god.
I know that people have been saying for years that, like, the Game Awards have no credibility and they're always bought out, but
yeah, they're
this
always
is too much.
I mean, it's because 90% of the votes are from quote unquote game critics and 10% are from fans. Yeah.
Game journalism at its finest.
But this year's even worse because even on the Last of Us Part 2 review pages from, like, actual critics, they themselves, like the game journalists, they themselves also say Last of Us Part 2 is really bad. So, my boy Neil's been like, he's been doing some cheeky things, you know. But yeah, that's the first one on the most controversial one. Last of Us Part 2 winning. I'm pretty sure most people will not agree. Anyway.
I don't think even the fans of the game can agree.
Yeah, Game of the Year. Yeah. And then here's the rest. Here's the other 29 awards. Get
So
best game direction winner, Last of Us Part 2 again.
Oh god.
Best narrative, Last of Us
Oh,
Part 2.
fucking best narratives. Come on.
But this made me very happy though. This made me very happy.
Okay, best art direction goes to Tsushima. That's a really that's the only.
Okay, no,
Actually, no. Ori and Will of the Wisp, I would accept as well.
I can see FF7 remake as well though.
I guess, but Ghost of Tsushima definitely deserves it. That game is beautiful. As I already talked about it last week.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a great game.
This, you know, I completely
Best
agree.
score and music, Final Fantasy VII remake.
I completely understand. Doom Eternal is great. Final Fantasy VII is also good. I think Final Fantasy VII remake is better because Doom Eternal always has that one vibe like let's go kill things, but as you'd expect from an RPG, the score in Final Fantasy VII, like it's a lot more broad. There's like epic moments, sad moments, all that stuff.
Let's see, best audio design winner.
This makes me like this confuses me.
How many awards can they give him?
Too many.
Best audio design.
Last of Us Part 2. How does the audio design in Last of Us Part 2 beat Half-Life Alyx and Doom Eternal? Like that is ridiculous.
I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. I haven't played the game. My gameplay itself, maybe the like sound design there is actually very good.
Thing is,
I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, even though these scumbags have bought out the entire game awards.
I'm not gonna give them the benefit of the doubt because Doom Eternal, that is great. But the modern Doom games are known to have incredibly good sound design. But beating Half-Life Alyx is ridiculous. That's a VR game. So the sound design is one of the biggest parts of a VR game for Half-Life Alyx at least. Like, how does that beat?
I guess.
Okay. Best performance.
Best performance. Fucking Laura Bailey as Abby. Are you kidding me?
Yo.
The most boring, plain character. Okay. No, there's some more plain characters, but it's a plain major character. They didn't even give it to Ellie. Ellie is right there, and they didn't give it to her.
Oh my gosh. Games for Impact winner. I don't know what this is.
Tell me why. I think that's made by the Life is Strange devs.
Game for Impact. Okay. Best ongoing game winner. This made me happy though. I can.
Best ongoing game, No Man's Sky. That's cool. That's a redemption story right there.
I do agree. I've heard No Man's Sky is really good now. A lot better than it was before. Best indie game, like I just expected this straight up. Like
Hades. Best indie game.
Absolutely expected it. Like Hades blew up, which is when a game like Hades blows up, like yeah, it's kind of hard for it not to win. Best mobile game winner, Among Us, you know, yeah.
Well, I mean, that's a weird category to have, but I guess you kind of have to with today's market.
Yeah.
But what other options do we have here? Call of Duty Mobile, Genshin Impact, Legends of Runeterra, and Pokemon Cafe Mix. Half of those games are pay to win.
Yep.
Among Us is good fun, I guess.
I
Best community support winner.
I never knew
Fall
Guys community supported it a lot. I mean, that's cool. I still want to play Fall Guys, but I'm not buying it at its price.
Same. It looks like a fun game to play every now and then, but I can't imagine getting into it really.
I can imagine getting into it. I can get into dumb games.
True. Best VR AR.
Yeah, Half-Life Alyx.
Half-Life Alyx.
That's me, Alex, for it. Half-Life Alyx is great. Innovation in accessibility. Last.
Fucking. It's joke awards. Literally just as joke awards.
2020 meme awards. Okay, this.
Best action game winner.
I was really
Hades.
interested in this.
How is Doom not the winner though?
I don't. Yeah, that's the thing. Like I can see why both would be there, but I don't know how Hades beat Doom Eternal. I think it's just Hades was just more popular.
I guess. And also Hades came out later in the year.
Yeah.
So it's fresher in people's memories.
Okay, this really triggers me. Part
Best action adventure game, Last of Us Part 2.
Last of Us Part 2 beat Ghost, Jedi Fallen Order, Will the Wisp, Valhalla. I don't know about Valhalla.
Valhalla is apparently very disappointing.
I've heard. But these four, Last of Us Part 2 beat Tsushima, Fallen Order, Will the Wisp, and the new Spider-Man game. It beat all those for best action adventure. Like, how? You're joking. This, I just expect
Best
this.
RPG winner.
I expected. I expected the FF7 remake to be the RPG winner.
I wish Yakuza won it though. Honestly, I wish Yakuza won it.
That's fair. Yakuza Like a Dragon looks so funny.
By the way, dude, did you see what Sega announced?
What, Sephiroth and Smash?
Whoa, Sega, chill out.
Yeah, Sega. No, I don't know. I don't know what Sega.
No.
Announced.
So on PS4, there's the Yakuza collection, which has 3, 4, and 5.
Yes.
And it also has Yakuza 6. Sega announced they're bringing them to PC.
Well.
So literally, the entire Yakuza franchise is going to be on PC now.
Well. That's my reaction. Well.
Man, I thought you'd be more excited about that fact.
Not too hype. Not too hype.
Okay. Let's see. Best fighting game. Mortal Kombat 11.
I mean, yeah,
What
you have
else
to
we
realize
got?
it's this year. This year.
Well, the thing is, 2 of those are re-releases, including the winner.
True, yeah.
MK11 and Street Fighter 5 did not come out this year. They just got re-releases.
Grand Blue.
I haven't heard much about Grand Blue Fantasy.
It looked
And
really cool. I'd play it.
Under Night and Birth is a very cool looking anime fighter, and One Punch Man Hero Nobody Knows sounds like a very scuffed anime game. So
It's
fine, I'll give it to MK11.
I've seen that. It's interesting. It's interesting. Best family game.
Best
Animal
family
Crossing.
game, Animal Crossing.
Understandable.
That's fair. The other ones seem like just
Oh, there.
cheap fun. I mean, Crash 5 is cool, but I don't see Crash 5 being a family game.
Best sim/strategy game winner, Microsoft Flight Sim. This really interests me though, because they put a sim/strategy game award winner.
It is kind of dumb to put it
Yeah,
into
yeah.
one.
Like a sim, it's a pretty different market to a strategy game, but for some reason they made that one. It's like its own award. And like the thing is, like the sim market and the strategy market are both big. I don't know why they made it a sim/strategy game winner. That really weirds me out.
Best sports racing game winner, Tony Hawk. Yes, yes, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1+2.
I've never played 1 or 2.
I grew up playing Tony Hawk's American Wasteland. This game is awesome. It's literally a remaster, well, a remake of the original 2 Pro Skater games.
Yes.
We have not had a good Tony Hawk game in like 7 years. This game is a godsend. It's so fun. It's just fun to play. Like, I really enjoy playing Tony Hawk.
Holy talk.
Okay, best multiplayer game winner. Among Us again. Yeah, because the other options are Animal Crossing, which is very limited multiplayer. Warzone, which is okay. Fall Guys, which had server issues on launch. But then again, Among Us did as well. And then we have Valorant, the game that kind of is succeeding, kind of isn't succeeding. So I'd say that's fair.
It's in a weird spot. More winners from each.
And that's... I think we don't look more than, like... We don't care about the esports shit.
I guess no. Is that Valkyrie? Content Creator of the Year? Valkyrie? Interesting.
Okay. I think we're gonna call it for this episode. It's been an interesting, like, a couple hot takes.
Oh, a couple. Yeah, true. Yeah, there have been a couple hot takes.
Okay. I've been your host, Bruno.
Yeah.
With me has been my co-host, Alexis. We hope you enjoyed this episode,
Yeah.
and we hope you listen next week to
Yeah.
the next release. Goodbye.
Yeah.